Alrighty, and I hope I didn't cut it too short. All right, this is part two. We're talking about The Boys, season 1 up until season 2, episode 1 through 4. So, main focus, episode 1 through 4 of The Boys. And we just left out talking about the role in women, and diversity or lack of diversity. So, Sailor, you were saying watching The Boys, you thought there was a lack of
POC diversity for women, I guess. I know they said in season 2 it gets better, but it was just, I couldn't relate to them much. I could relate to the fact, of course, any type of sexual assault or harassment, all of us as women go through it, but it kind of feels like a disconnect for me, because it's like, that's not me. That's not the background I come from. Mm-hmm. Of course, like, a lot of superheroes come from different parts of different places, but I just couldn't connect with it, so it makes me wonder how many other POC women feel this way, but it's kind of just like a their thing. I'm used to it.
They actually, I don't know if they made fun of it or shine a light on it, but they did mention how Noir, Black Noir, how, and it's interesting, he's actually played by Nathan Mitchell, which is a black guy. So, for anyone wondering who's underneath that suit, is actually a black character. But they said, oh, we have 3-point such and such. They actually made fun of the fact. Again, I don't know how much they make fun of the fact or just acknowledging the fact that, we don't have that many people in here. But it does kind of shine a light on a reality of, well, if you were making superheroes, if the government or big business were going to make superheroes, you think they'd make them all of African descent? I don't think so. So it does kind of shine a light on a reality of kind of what they would do.
Yeah.
But I'd
like to intervene.
Yep,
I got to intervene on this about Black Noir. How you say Black Noir?
Black Noir.
Black Noir. Black Noir, because I always get his character tongue-tied.
Which is Black.
But here's the twist.
I'm sitting here like, just call it what it is.
Alright, so here's the twist. There's a possibility he's not a POC character, because in the comic book, yes. In the comic book, it was Homelander. It was Homelander. A clone of Homelander.
Okay, but either way, he just said that the actor, so here...
I'm just talking about but I'm talking...
We know what it is.
Well, again, who created this? And a lot of the conversations that we're having today we weren't having publicly. People were having them, but we weren't having publicly, or should I say, the masses, the Caucasian media was not having these conversations where a lot of this stuff was created. So, now everyone's trying to fit all the boxes, which, as much as it's good, and as soon as something comes up, I feel represented or I don't feel represented, but then are we at a danger? We're just throwing a whole bunch of people trying to fit all the boxes and not telling the stories that we might want to tell, or now we just created a new box where we just got to have everything we do, we have to have the rainbow represented. Is there a danger there? Because some people say that that's a critique where, can you stay true to your vision? Maybe your vision doesn't have every box covered.
And that's what I was trying to say. I think that that's okay. I think we do need more storytellers from different backgrounds to tell a variety of stories, because not every story needs to be intertwined with everyone else's. So we can have like a predominantly black story, predominantly white story. We can have those. It's just we need more storytellers from different perspectives to be able to tell those stories. And that's why I think what's the word? Not not white. Typecast gets it. Like you can have
You're cutting in and out, by the way.
black. Right. Can you hear me?
Is there other sounds in the background?
No other
Okay.
sounds in the background.
Okay, you sound good. Better now, Kev.
Alright. So I think we need to have more storytellers and more actors to be able to tell those stories rather than just, like you said, check a box. Give it a tag and have more people.
What's really interesting for me when I hear, depending on age, like older people talking about this compared to younger people and like people who are, for different types of diversity, and people are like, well, maybe this thing won't have it. And I feel like we are not saying, when people are asking for diversity and pushing for it and asking for, let's have more POC on this show, it's not for, documentaries or, biopic.
Biopics.
Thank you. Yeah, like it's not for that. It's not for telling the story of something in someone's culture specifically. We're talking about watching shows like Seven Heaven, we're talking about seeing us like we are in the culture. So I don't think it's wrong to say, hey, make sure you have other POC in this, do you have an Asian person, do you have a black person, whatever. I don't care how you do it, just don't have it be, oh, well, it doesn't. I don't think anyone would just put people into a thing just because it doesn't fit. Like the way
That's
you guys
what,
are playing.
well, that's the argument. That's what I would like you guys to address. You hit it right on the nose there, Sailor. The reaction is, yes, it's great what the Academy and other networks are trying to do, but is it a danger that you're forcing people to tell stories in a way that they don't necessarily want to tell them? Is that fair?
Disagreeing with you, actually.
I'm just saying what I've read.
You today.
No. As I say, this is not my opinion.
The fear of that is wrong. I don't think it's necessary, because what makes you think that a story? Remember, I said not based on culture. Not biographies, not biopics, not any of that.
So anything pretend need to have everybody in it.
If it's pretend, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with people from different things fitting it if they fit the role? Because no matter what, when you're acting, if you don't fit the role, why would you get the part?
So what if the argument is? But what? Wait, you just hit another thing right there. If it fits the role, what if my imagination there's no Latinx in my imagination? Why should I fit one in there? Just don't.
But why shouldn't you?
I'm just saying.
That's what they're doing in The Boys also. So that's what they even explained that. They said that because of certain demographics, some people were able to get contact V or whatever V, compound V, in certain areas, whereas they couldn't get it in other areas. They literally said that. So that was the vision that the people had for this show. So if you're trying to say like every show should be inclusive, doesn't that take away from the person who wanted this specifically in their show?
So are you telling me right now, hold on. So with that logic, you're saying H.P. Lovecraft, any artist who has written anything during times of slavery, you are now saying that because they envisioned everyone to be white, we should not remake it and have people black. Come on, y'all. Come on.
I said that was their vision going forward. But that's already written, right? We're not going to go back and dig out H.P. Lovecraft just to say that he did it. But if we're trying to say, if I want to have this story that is inclusive, but not inclusive to everybody, because that's just what it is.
Why? But why can't that actor be black? It doesn't, why? Why is the question? That tells you who that person is. Why would that character not be any other race but white?
That's a good question.
Well, that's the decision on the writer and the creator and the director. So,
Yeah,
person that
we are asking for
uh,
change, right?
yes,
Remember, this change has to come from somewhere.
yeah, but let me finish. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when I was in the acting, going to auditions. There was one guy that I auditioned for. He know I blew it out the park for the role. The issue was he was looking for somebody white. All the white people that he had on his for this audition didn't do well.
Mm.
So he gave me the hardest time
Mm.
because of the
But is
fact
that
that
under discrimination laws?
yeah and no, because it wasn't SAG. But here's the thing: it wasn't SAG. It was just an independent filmmaker.
Right. And again, I don't want to move away. I don't want to move away. Wait. I don't want to move away from the point. All I'm asking is because do you think there's any validity for the individuals that are opposing it? Or do we chalk that up as just racism, or do we chalk it up as you're getting to the point where you're crossing the line and telling artists they can't tell the story the way they want to? Is there any validity to that? That's what I'm asking.
Y'all, there's some things. Keep going. I'm sorry. I don't care anymore. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No. I really think part of it could be racism, but from what I experienced, it does feel like it was his vision and he wanted to stick to his vision.
And again, if you're racist, it's probable that you have a racist vision. Right?
Yeah.
So again, it's just interesting viewpoint, just interesting to see what people are thinking. I'm reading a lot of backlash towards the Academy, and and then also there's a lot of applause as well. Now bringing it back to,
because I feel like people who wouldn't have been able to get those opportunities are now seeing those opportunities. Why? Because their bosses are like, dang, we actually don't have any people like that here. Well, now we have to focus on those people that are in there trying to do that, right? Dayveonne, you went and did the acting. You don't think this would benefit you whatsoever?
No, it does. I'll say yes. But is there going to be backlash from it? Yeah, it's going to be huge
backlash.
Again, to be very specific, in case we get any hate mail or I get any DMs like, well, how can you not be wanting this as a black guy? That's not the point.
Send it. Start typing. Send it.
Wait.
Right now.
Whatever. The point is, do we think there's any validity when you come from the standpoint of, like, for instance, let's just use an example. I want to move on. If Sailor and myself say, tomorrow we're going to write a sci-fi thing and there's only black people in it, does a company have a right to say, look, you need to add a lot more of this and that in there? And like, well, that's not our vision. But no, but you need to sprinkle everything in there. So, you got to look at it from the other side too.
In that same sense, black people have written a lot of things, right? And you've seen a lot of black movies, but you still see white people in the background.
I mean, you have to give examples. I don't know.
What movies have you watched that are mostly black or black based?
Boomerang.
Is there any white people, convenience store people, any of it?
Well, they always throw us somewhere. We're usually like the pizza boy.
Why can we not throw some white people in dumb places? Please.
Okay.
Please. You guys are acting as if there's no space.
We're not disagreeing with you. That's not the point.
That's
not the point. The point was, is there any validity for the other side? Obviously, everyone on this show is like, yay, more black representation. That's not the point.
That's not true.
Wow.
Enough for that.
Back to the boys. I feel that they're gonna have at least one sister there if they're gonna do all the stuff that they're doing, and I'm hoping that now that Homelander, and you mentioned this, they talked about representation and the degrees and all that other stuff. So I'm hoping that we will see that happen Like, even if they're using that as a pop culture focus, I think that's kind of brilliant if they do that. Because they're going from, we're not doing that at all, and then all of a sudden now there's a rainbow of people just because they have to fill a box. It would be good, positive, but also brings about, is this what people thinking? It's kind of like, it serves both purposes. Does anybody agree or disagree?
I feel like it could also just be a reflection of society and how we're changing now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they took it from the beginning and how things should be because how they've been for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and now moving it to the next step.
Oh, definitely. And I want to see just more. Just more evenly. It's like they kind of like, okay, we're going to develop this character. I wish they would just develop all the characters evenly. I don't know, maybe it takes more skill writing wise to do that, but it would be nice. So you're not feeling like, because what if you just pick characters we don't like? I mean, that was one of I'm not going to mention the show, but because it's a whole other thing. But it was a sister created a show, and it's on cable, and I don't like the fact that, and it's a dramedy, more drama. You know what I'm talking about. And you should. And I don't like the fact that they just kind of picked one or two characters, developed those, and then the rest of them are like, eh. And I think some of the characters they don't develop sometimes are the most interesting to me. And then I want to be a fan, I want to support it, but it's like, I'm tired of you. You're not that interesting.
I feel that.
You feel that? Yeah. So Sayla, I totally respect you just unplugged from the show, because I'm sure there are times where there's the fan side of me, and then there's a production writer, actor, where you want to watch it to see where it goes, but you're not necessarily a fan. And I kind of went back and forth, but if I just went with the fan route, I probably wouldn't have watched every episode, to be honest. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch it now because I want to see more about like things that you guys have said. So look, you converted me for like 2 seconds. We'll see next week.
But you know what? If you just play pretend and say, hey, what would it be like? I'm selling it now. What would it be like if there were superheroes in the real world?
Speaking of that,
it's great.
I'm just saying, Lovecraft got white people in it. Lovecraft Country got white people in it, and you know what they did? They still did what they needed to do.
They did.
And that's all I'm asking for. That is great. That's okay.
Can we just give a round of applause? See, that's when you talking about another review of a show, and you still got to run back to that other show. All right, is there anything else that we could add or take away from The Boys? Where we're at right now.
We can. We're talking about what happens, or what would it be like if superheroes were in real life. How can we talk about that and not mention Homelander's son, who was born without using Compound V?
Wait, without what?
Using Compound V.
So Compound V is what makes him superhero.
Oh, yeah, so he is like Superman.
Yeah, Superman's son. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess the real Superman, we'll see what happens with that. I want to see that develop.
I mean, that was great, where he got thrown off a building, and he didn't get hurt. And according to Homelander, he's like a little punk. This came from my loins. This is my kid. But when he got mad and referenced to stay away from my mom, those eyes got red, and you were like, yes, it's on. What's happening?
Like you was knocking.
What was the movie where Superman was supposed to be evil? He came here as a kid. They did kind of like a horror movie.
Right. Was it? I have it right here. Brightburn. That was a true Brightburn moment because I was scared.
You were scared.
It scared me for a second. I was like, ooh, Homelander's about to kill a kid.
It's like, boy, don't you know I'll burn you with one blink? You better. There's been so many versions of what if, as far as superheroes. Um, can they really do a season 3, or is this going to die out just as awesome as it started?
They already got approved for season 3.
And I was like, I feel like they could do more now that you guys are talking about other stuff. I'm like, well, dang, I didn't know they could do all that with season 1. So shoot.
They did a lot.
They can kill one.
Yeah.
They can kill one of the 7 every season, but they can still
That's
recruit
just
more
season.
like they do. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope
every season.
You know, one of my favorite new actors, Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, he's been in the game for a minute.
Yes.
I actually met him once at an audition. He seems like a really nice guy. He's killing it right now. On every time he has these dark, twisted role of like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm clever. You don't necessarily fear me, but you know I'm bad, and you want to like him. It's this weird thing that he brings to villains that I think is great. I just hope they don't overdo it, that we get tired of him, because he does it so well. And he's in Mandalorian, which we'll talk about another show.
And he's on the video game.
Oh,
He's
wow.
been acting since like 7. Or
Next episode. We got 8 minutes left on this. Save it. Well, you put it out there, right? But no, we'll talk about that. Liberty and that child are the 2 big things that really open up for another season, or really justify this season. Otherwise, we kind of just keep going over the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Liberty's old school. Could it be that she's the mother of Compound V? Maybe they took her. Maybe she was a natural superhero, or at least the first person they experimented on, and took her blood. I mean, that would make most sense. Corey, you're happy about that. Why are you so happy?
Why are you laughing?
Because I know in the comics, like I said, I just hope that the TV show deflects a little from the comics. I hope there's a twist that Liberty isn't Stormfront, so we can go in a whole different direction. That's just what I'm hoping for.
Because I was gonna say this much too. Because when I saw that episode, I was thinking Liberty was the older woman, the black woman. So I was like, that's your POC right there. But she basically turned the story around and said Liberty was racist and all that, and she killed black people. So I'm like, yeah. If you watch that episode, yes.
Dang, Sailor had to get something to drink on that.
Yeah, a superhero actually killed black people. Yes.
But are we surprised? Like, guys, we're going to get into it in a different episode, but I just don't understand why we keep thinking that these forces that are made to protect.
But here's the twist. You want to know what I think could be the twist? Liberty is that black woman, and she was the one that was doing it based on what she was ordered to do.
Of course! That's literally what
That'd be an awesome twist. I'm just saying.
Self-hate, y'all. Self-hate.
That would be the most obvious. A twist.
It'll be obvious, but it would be a good way to introduce her. I'm just saying.
Interesting.
I mean, it's interesting. Well, see, Corey, you know the comic book, right?
Somewhat.
Am I warm? Because that's like just a classic thing to do. I mean, there was not that much creativity. Am I right though? Listen, it's a comic book. I'm not gonna read it. It's okay. But is that her role?
Dayveonne, you answer that question.
Liberty is she is a superhero, but it was the racist overtones that they had to add into it because of her story.
All right,
that's
just
the best way to
cut to the
When
crap.
was this written? Hold on. What year was this written?
Wait. Can you just answer the question I asked? Is it like through her bloodline? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking. You guys are the worst. This is supposed to be a spoiler episode.
Yeah.
You trying to keep secrets.
You go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, we spoiled season 1. We can't
I'm
talk
like,
about
of course it's in her blood. That's them right now. Of course it's in her blood.
Never mind. You
Okay.
guys suck. Keep it to yourself.
Goes away from. Like I said earlier.
Not Daraj from what's the show? Big Bang Theory.
Sailor, how are you doing today? These guys are bugging out.
Well, these comic
Guess
book
what?
nerds over here.
We are not going to read the comic book. We don't care, okay? We just want to know. Okay. We don't care. I don't care. Sheesh. All right.
Taylor, what's wrong?
I'm gonna talk to him after. It's cool. We gonna keep going though. I'll talk to him afterwards. It's okay. Anyways, so you gotta just give me the whole background on her now, because you started. So who's Liberty? Boom. In the comics only.
Yeah,
Boom.
we
Let's
got
just
3
run
minutes
over
left.
it.
Let's go.
3 minutes. Just run through it. Let's go.
Corey, go ahead.
The next episode comes out tomorrow, so I'm hoping. What do you expect from the next episode tomorrow?
I'm waiting for a biography, please.
Oh, man. Just... Okay.
So you are looking up.
And you see, this is the problem, Sailor. I'll direct it to you because they're bugging out right now. This is the problem when you have comic books and you turn them into series because of this. There's an expectation of where they're going to go with it. And people hold on to the backstory of that and, you know.
I mean, didn't I not say that? I said I hope that the show does The Walking Dead where there's 2 parallels. I hope that the comic book parallel and the show parallel are different.
Okay, Liberty
Comic book
is
on the
now
show.
revealed to be Stormfront. Okay, all right. So that's one. Okay.
That in episode 42. Dayveonne, why are you looking down? Don't let me hear so.
I think he's trying to do some research. He's on his phone. He think he's slick. He got glasses on. Hello.
We can still see you.
You can't see me.
Yes, you can.
You can't see me. You are not.
She's described in the early seasons 2 as an old soup by Grace Mallory, and just how far back her hero days were illustrated by an old piece of Budweiser advertising. She was also featured on a poster in the present day as a face of bots, but I can't even say their name.
Bot.
Bot. Okay. Anyways, so they learn about Stormfront's days at Liberty from Valerie. Explained that she and her brother Myron encountered Liberty 48 years ago in 1971. Liberty stopped the car in the middle of the street, pulled Myron out of the vehicle, claimed that the car was involved in
And pause
disaster.
right there. Y'all could go online and read that because we run out of time. Everybody, give everybody your social media.
I can't do this. I'm like, it's too much. They're going too deep.
What's your social?
Dayveonne Bussey on Instagram. Dayveonne Bussey on Facebook.
INGT3 on Instagram and Twitter, but that scene was ridiculous.
Yes.
It's Sailor Leone, your fave girl next door. Sailor Leone cosplay on Instagram, Sailor Leone on Twitter, and on Facebook.
Michael7 Michael on IG, and you're watching GEEKCASTER. Go to GEEKCASTER on IG. Go to GeekCaster.com. Half of this will be on just IG, and all of it will be on GeekCaster.com. Thank you so much, and continue to watch Geek content and support the show. Leave comments, like us, follow, all that other good stuff. You can follow us on YouTube, yeah, all that. Yeah.
Twitter.